What is going on, everyone? It's your guy Cole Jackson back here on Road Graders. Welcome back into the Baltimore War Room, and we are here today on the Russell Street Report, courtesy of DNL Tinting. Go check out dltinting.com for all the services they can provide your vehicle, and we are going to be going through our 7-round pre-free agency mock draft. Recording this Sunday night. It's been a wild day in the NFL. It's kind of quiet throughout the day after the big Ronnie Stanley signing Saturday night, and then within the last few hours went crazy. DK to the Steelers, bunch of signings, Patriots landing Harold Landry, a bunch of different things. So there's going to be a lot of excitement this week as free agency kicks off. Obviously, this being Monday, we will start with the legal tampering period, and then free agency kicks off on Wednesday. So let's dive into a 7-round mock draft. Big piece added to this is obviously Baltimore Ravens have their left tackle. That's a huge addition. It's going to really factor in to how we look at this, but I am definitely not removing O-line from my list of needs. That's for sure. We're going to take a look at the board, see who falls. I know James Pierce Jr. in these simulations keeps falling. Is he going to be there? He is. Heard not great things about him. So I'm a little worried about what these character concerns mean. So this sets up, interestingly, you can kind of go O-line, D-line here. Really like the look of this board off the bat because a lot of different flavors. You can go Kelvin Banks or Gray Zabel. You can go Derek Hartman and Walter Nolan. And what I'm going to do is actually start with Kelvin Banks Jr. and add to this O-line. And Banks Jr. is on the short list for me of perfect fits for the Baltimore Ravens to bring in as a guard. I think he is an NFL level tackle, but I think coming in where he is, he could come in and be a left guard day one, start right away, or right guard. But he provides that ability at offensive tackle in case Ronnie Stanley goes down. So the Baltimore Ravens continue to add to their guard competition. Now they have Voorhees, Daniel Falele, and Kelvin Banks Jr. competing. We're back up here at pick 59. And I got to go with Darian Porter, I think. I don't know how it's Darian Porter, Ben Morrison. I don't know how you don't go corner right away. There's just no starting corner right now opposite Marlon, unless they go safety and move Kyle Hamilton into the slot. But I think they need to add to that room. I know a lot of people are always messaging me saying, what about TJ Tampa? Not trying to disrespect TJ Tampa. We just haven't seen what we need to see out of him yet, in my opinion. So trusting him to be that starter right away is a little concerning. Now, going into this, little weak on the D line so far. I'm seeing Deon Walker, obviously a very unique skill set that we could add. And I think that's where the Ravens are going to go with this pick. I'd like to have an edge rusher earlier, just the board didn't stack up that way. But Deon Walker, really nice addition to this interior defensive lineman group with Matabike, Travis Jones, Michael Pierce. Really solid number 3 rusher, a guy that would factor in and play a lot of pass downs for you. So now let's just recap before we go with our 4. So we started with Kelvin Banks adding to that O-line, Darian Porter adding to that corner room, and Deon Walker. I'm pretty happy about how this has kind of shaken out for the Baltimore Ravens through this mock draft. Obviously, edge rusher. I still feel like this it's a good example of how you can't really hit guard. You can't hit guard, edge, and corner and D line. Like, obviously, there's too many numbers, but what do you leave out? What do you prioritize? It's all about how the board falls, and then you're stuck kind of picking the odd one out here in the 4th round. So, based on what I'm seeing here, it's between Chase Lunt, Ahmed Hassanin. I was a little worried about the way he tested. I think we're actually going to go with Oladejo. I know he doesn't have great stats. I don't love his film, but there's still some unscratched ability there. And I think adding him into that room, this is this type of setup that concerns me a little bit because I feel like the Ravens need to address their edge room. And that's just adding another guy that's very similar to, I'm criticizing myself as I'm going through this, but it's just adding another guy that's like another Adisa Isaac, right? So, I can see the traits, I can see the path to success, but I still don't feel like we have the guy in the room. And then I'm going to add Chase Lunt right here and add him as a swing tackle. So he's going to come in and develop as a swing tackle, potentially compete at guard. But through this, we've really kind of shored up our 2 trenches. I feel good about that. And now it's about looking around, seeing where we can get some value out of some of these other positions. Just trying to look through who's available. I'm liking the look of Deontay Thornton there. The idea of adding speed, it feels a little similar to adding, I wouldn't say they're the same player, but a speed guy like Devontae Walker. But I like that addition. I want to add another guy into our D-line room, and I've been talking about him all through this draft process, Tonka Hemingway. Just another guy that I think can bring that juice as a pass rusher and develop in this scheme. I think it's a really good fit. Jay Higgins sitting there. I'm actually going to go grab Jackson Slater, and we went pretty heavy on the O-line here. But I feel like we have a lot of guys that could come in and compete right away at those guard positions to really shore up this offensive line. And Malachi Moore sitting there. We're going to add him into our safety room, kind of rushing through the last few picks here. Let's see what we can kind of finish off with. Do I pick Hunter Wohler again? I know some of you guys are getting a little sick of me picking the same folks over and over again, but there's just guys in the simulator that I love in certain spots. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and add. Let's add another corner. Don't really love Jason Marshall Jr. though. Might be cooked on the corner room here. Is anyone kicking around? Yeah, I'm going to go out and get Mac McWilliams, a guy that statistically has performed a lot better, adding another guy into that corner room, obviously just coming in to compete, see what we can get out of him. We got one pick left here to kind of round out this draft. Feel really good about what we did in the trenches, that's for sure. A couple guys that I just personally am very high on. So adding them in, makes me feel pretty good. I'd like to finish here with kind of, what they usually do, look for a special teamer. I'm actually going to go and add Tommy Hill. He's listed as a corner. I see him as a return specialist in this scenario. But this is where the Baltimore Ravens finish in this pre-free agency mock draft. So obviously I feel really good about what we did in the offensive line room, adding Kelvin Banks Jr. out of Texas. I think that's your day one left guard. I think Andrew Voorhees competes with Voorhees. Voorhees competes with Falele right away. I like the addition of Darian Porter. I think Porter, Marlon Humphrey, and Nate Wiggins, that's a really solid corner room. Like Deion Walker a lot, obviously getting a C- there in the grade, but I like him a lot more than what it says. Oladejo, there's some interesting traits there that I'd love to see get developed. Chase Lunt, really solid swing tackle. I love developing him here. Plays like a Raven. Fits what we want to see. We've also added Jackson Slater into that guard room. Again, I could see him coming in and competing right away. We added some speed in Deontay Thornton. Tonka Hemingway is sort of that pass rush specialist on the interior defensive line. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these 11 draft picks are on the O-line and the D-line. So I feel good about that. Little, some shots in the dark here at the end. Malachi Moore, Mac Williams, Tommy Hill, who's coming in as a return specialist. So let me know what you guys think. Hit that grade down below. A little bit of a different mock. I've been trying to mix it up, kind of keep things fresh, but that I could see being a really solid step forward in addressing the lines. Big concern to me of my own draft is I feel like we don't have that edge rusher, and it's tough. You can see how these mock drafts roll out. It's where else could I have gone to kind of address that? Do you reach in the first? Do you try and drop back? Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Hit subscribe if you're new here. Thank you to DNL Tinting for sponsoring this video.